for this video, we are going to have the negative integral and the zero exponent. So for this one, let's have first the negative integral. When we say negative integral exponent, it is to change the sign. So again, when we have the negative exponent or the negative integral exponent, we need to change the sign or make it a positive exponent. So how are we going to make it a positive? We are going to use the reciprocal method. Therefore, the sign of the exponent will change into positive. If you have a negative exponent, it will change to positive, and vice versa of the exponent if we use the reciprocal method. So let's have these example. If negative exponent and base in the numerator, we will move it to the denominator, and then the exponent will become positive. So let's have this one. Again, when the base with the negative exponent, ang meron tayo which is nasa numerator, so this is automatic nasa numerator because it is all over 1. What are we going to do is to reciprocal it. Therefore, pag ni-reciprocal natin siya, magpapalit lang si numerator, magiging denominator, at si denominator magiging numerator. Therefore, our answer here is 1 over a to the m power. Again, to change the sign of our exponent from negative integral exponent, we will reciprocal our given expression to make our negative exponent to positive exponent. Therefore, if you can see our answer here, the exponent become positive. Next is, if the negative exponent and base is in denominator, we move to the numerator. Then the exponent become positive. So this one, kapag yung negative exponent naman natin is nasa denominator, then we will reciprocal it. Pag ni-reciprocal natin ang ating fraction which the negative exponent is in the denominator, then what are we going to do is to reciprocal. The denominator will be moved to the numerator, and the numerator will be moved to the denominator. Therefore, it becomes a to the m power over 1. So again, magre-reciprocal lang siya. So if you are going to simplify any expression which is all over 1, the answer will always be the numerator itself. So that's why our answer here is a to the mth power. Again, since we reciprocal our given expression, the 1 over a to the negative m power, pag ni-reciprocal natin siya, the negative exponent or the sign in the exponent which is negative will become positive. So for this negative integral exponent, let's have an example. How are we going to solve this one? For negative integral exponent, if we have given a to the negative 8 power, the answer will be 1 over a to the positive 8 power. We reciprocal, then the negative exponent becomes positive 1. Next is, become positive 8. Next is, what if our given is 7 to the negative second power? What are we going to do here is to reciprocal this given number. So yung 7 to the second or to the negative 2 or raised to negative 2, pag ni-reciprocal natin siya, it becomes 1 to the 1 over 7 squared. And when we simplify this expression, it becomes 1 over 49. So it's different from the given variable done sa ating given integers. If ang given natin is integers, then we can simplify it. But if it is a variable, ang pagsisimplify lang natin is still variable pa din. Next is what if our given is like this? 1 over b to the negative 9th power. So what are we going to do is to reciprocal it. Then, pag ni-reciprocal natin siya, or pinagpalit natin yung numerator and denominator, the sign of the exponent will become positive. Therefore, it becomes b to the positive 9th power over 1, and the answer here is b to the 9th power. So, this is our answer. How about kapag ang ginawa naman natin is 1 over 2 to the negative 3rd power. So, again, first is to reciprocal. Reciprocal natin, it becomes 2 to the 3rd power, naging positive, over 1. And then solve. 2 to the 3rd power is 8 over 1. Then our answer is positive 8. So, this is our answer. What if our situation is like this? A cube or a to the negative cube over b to the negative 4. So, how are we going to simplify it to change our negative integral or negative exponent to positive? So, same process lang din yung gagawin natin para mag-change yung sign niya. We need to reciprocal it. So, therefore, our answer here is, pag ni-reciprocal natin, change lang siya ng position. Then, it is b to the 4th power, naging positive na siya. And then a to the 3rd power, naging positive na siya. Therefore, our answer here is this one. So, this is how we solve the negative integral exponent. How about if our given is integers? Let's have an example. Let's have 2 to the negative 3 power over 4 to the negative 2 power. So first is, we need to make our integral or the exponent become positive. Therefore, becomes 4 to the 2nd power over 2 to the negative to the 3rd power. Then, we can solve it the numerator and the denominator first before simplifying it. Therefore, it becomes 4 squared is 16 over 2 cube is 8. Therefore, it is equal to 2. So, our answer here is positive 2. Now, we have learned about the negative integral exponent and how to simplify our answer if we have given the negative integral exponent. Now, let's proceed with our zero exponent. Paano naman natin malalaman or how are we going to solve if we have the zero exponent? So, it says here that any base except 0 raised to 0 is equal to 1. Okay? So, let's understand this first. Any base except 0. So, lahat ng base except the 0 which has the exponent 0 is equal to 1. So, any base except 0. So, ang base natin is it's either a variable or a number or integers. Pwedeng A, B, C, Z. Pwedeng 1, 2, negative 5, negative 100. So, any integers or any variables except 0 which is raised to 0, kapag yan ay raised to 0, ang exponent niya ay 0, the answer will always be 1 or it is equal to 1. Bakit po ba siya equal to 1? If you are going to remember yung ating, let's say, A, B, C, the exponent of this one is automatic 1. And if we have the exponent 1, the answer will always the base itself. For example, 8 to the first power, the answer is the base. B to the first power, the answer will always be the base. C to the first power, the answer will always be the base, which is C. When we have the integers, 2 is equal to 2. Dahil 2 to the first power is equal to 2. Then, negative 5 is equal to negative 5. Dahil negative 5 to the first power is equal to negative 5. But, if we have the zero exponent, it is automatic equal to 1. Therefore, any base, kahit anong base except sa 0, if it has a exponent 0, the answer will be equal to 1. Therefore, if you can see, our different example here is equal to 1. Now, let's have this 1. Paano kapag yung case natin is a base is 0 and it is also raised to 0? Then, kapag ganito yung situation natin, 0 raised to 0, then it is undefined. Okay? So again, if you can see this one, 0 raised to 0, then it is undefined. Now, to further understand the zero exponent using other law of exponent, let's have this one. If a given is A times B raised to 0, ang buong base niya is nagre-represent ng ating exponent na 0. So, kapag may parenthesis tayo, ibig sabihin, yung nasa loob ng ating parenthesis is the base of our exponent. Therefore, our answer here is 1. Paano po ba naging 1 ito? So, if we're going to distribute the external exponent to the internal exponent, it is automatic 1 and 1. When we multiply the exponent, it becomes A to the 0 power and B to the 0 power. And it is equal to 1. Bakit po siya naging equal to 1? What is A to the 0 power is 1. Multiply natin since it is a multiplication. And B to the 0 power is also equal to 1. And when we multiply it, the answer is 1. Let's see the difference of having a parenthesis and without a parenthesis. So for example, A times B to the 0 power. If yung ating first example, ang 0 exponent niya, ang base niya is nasa loob ng parenthesis, dito naman, ang base ng ating 0 exponent is the B only. Therefore, yung 0 exponent niya, nagre-represent lang siya sa base na B. Therefore, our A has an exponent of 1. Okay? Ito po yung difference niya kapag walang parenthesis. Now, how are we going to answer this one? So, this is equal to A. Paano po siya naging A? So, what are you going to do with this is to simplify or solve this one. A to the first power is A times natin sa B raised to 0. And B raised to 0 is 1 and it is equal to A. Bakit po siya A? A times 1 is equal to A. So, pag minultiply natin yung A and 1, the answer is A. So, this is how we solve the 0 exponent. So, therefore, we can use it in other law of exponent. For example, if we are going to have our A cube over A cube. So, first is, this is a quotient of product. So, law of exponent siya. Then, what are we going to do here is to subtract. So, copy the base and subtract natin yung exponent. Then, the answer is A to the 0 power. And A to the 0 power is equal to 1. So, this is how we answer the quotient. How about naman kapag ang ating given is a product or it is a power of product? For example, A cube times a to the negative 3. So we have negative exponent. How are we going to answer this one? So first is transform negative integral to positive. Then it becomes a cube times natin. So transform this one. Magiging a over 1 over a to the third power. And how are we going to answer this fraction? So automatic, the whole number has a denominator of 1. Then when we multiply it horizontally. So pag minultiply natin horizontally, a cube times 1, it is equal to a cube. And 1 times a cube, it is equal to a cube. Now, we have used the product of power. Now, we will proceed with quotient of power. Then, it is a, and 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. And a raised to 0 is equal to 1. So, in this expression, we used law of exponent at only 1. Meron tayong una, the negative integral exponent. Second one is a product of power. Then the third one is the quotient. And then the fourth one is the zero exponent. So always remember the law of exponent and the integral exponent as well the zero exponent. So this is how we solve the negative integral exponent and zero exponent.